This song is about an old oak tree, but it's also about my daddy. And it's about all the other good daddies out there in this world, and the ones in heaven too. You know, a good earthly father is like a great oak tree. You always know where you can find him when you need him. He's not going to up and run off and leave you. If you need somebody to lean on, he's going to be there to support you. But if you ever run up against him, well, you might get around him somehow, but you're not going to go through him. So a good daddy and an old oak tree, I think they got a lot in common. They both give you strength and support, but they also give you comfort and shade when you need it. That was the way my daddy was, and this is my song about him. The name of the song is The Mighty Oak, and it goes like this. A good earthly father, like a great oak tree, steadfast and solid shall he ever be. His children, I venture, they all would agree, not one in God's kingdom stands taller than he. There stood a great oak in the forest, so tall and majestic was he, that folks came from miles around just to stand upon that ground and gaze up at that mighty oak tree. His boughs told a tale of the ages, his leaves whispered softly to me, and as I stood beside his knees, listening in the gentle breeze, he passed down seeds of wisdom to me. And we all spread our wings like the little bird who sings in the shade of that mighty oak tree. But we'll all someday fall down when God sends the angels round, even that mighty oak tree. He spoke of his fathers before him, of all the great oaks he had known. But in all of that fair land, only he was left to stand in that glade where he stood all alone. Now I knew that someday it would happen. The mighty oak's branches went bare. Earthly things all have their time, and someday I will have mine, for the Father waits for me up there. And we all spread our wings like the little bird who sings in the shade of that mighty oak tree. But we'll all someday fall down when God sends the angels round, even that mighty oak tree. Well, I went there to see him one morning. My heart led me back to that place, but I saw through the morning light he had fallen in the night, and the tears streamed down from my face. Now that glade in the forest is empty, but I'll always recall how he stood. Though I knew him oh so well, he had so much more to tell, but his spirit lives on in those woods. And we all spread our wings like the little bird who'd sing in the shade of that mighty oak tree. but we'll all come crashing down when God sends the angels round. Yes, even that mighty oak tree. Now my father stood like that old oak tree, his faith anchored deep in that sod, watching over all who passed, strong and mighty till the last, giving shade to the path that I trod. Now I pray someday that my children might see him when they look on my face. He gave all he had to give, till he'd no more life to live, and God swept him away to that place. And he taught me to spread my wings like that little bird who'd sing in the shade of that mighty oak tree. And if on earth I've done my best, then in heaven I'll take my rest 'neath the shade of that mighty oak tree.